I'm sorry. I'm going to ask a big favor of you, if because I just I'm having trouble with my editing software. So what happened there, and I'm not sure how much of that you got. Another downfall of using an iPad. I got a phone call, and it rang on my iPad as well. And even though I declined the call, it killed the video uh, recording. So I'm not sure when it stopped. Maybe right about the time the phone rang. So I'm just going to call these part one and part two, if you don't mind, and I'll just upload them both right together. And if you'll just, when the one ends, just please just click on the next one, and we'll keep going. That'll save me having to edit it, and I can get it uploaded much faster if I just go right from here to YouTube. I'm looking at the camera on the wrong thing because I still have the webcam up there even though it's not operational. So that would be great because anyway, I wouldn't have to edit it together or do whatever I was saying over. Oh yeah, I was just describing the parking lot with those things, right? So like I said, there's 30 of them. And I was saying, I guess they're there so that if you pull up, try to pull up too far in the parking space, your tires will bump up against there, and you'll go, oh, okay, that's the end of this parking space, and then it keeps you from being a dumbass and pulling so far forward that you tie up, the parking space on the other side, and then you've eaten up two parking spaces. And I see this sometimes where those concrete things are not, with pickup trucks, big pickup trucks with a lot of times with a double axle or double wheel, on a rear axle. And they can't drive those things. They can't back up. I've seen them try to back up, and they have no idea what they're doing backing up. They have no idea where the back end of the car is. When they pull into parking places, they pull in crooked. They can't drive them forward either, and they cut off the edge of the adjacent parking space anyway. So if you let them then also pull forward too far, they've eaten up 3 parking spaces. So anyway, I guess that's the purpose of them, but you don't see them a lot. But anyway, this lot had one, and so you possibly know where this story is going to go. My boss picked me up, and he drove. And he has a sports car. It's a 5-speed, and he picked me up in it, and we drove to this bar/restaurant. Bar/restaurant, and got there kind of late, and so we had bar food, chicken wings and toasted ravioli, and had a few drinks, but not a lot. He wasn't drunk. He was fine to drive, and so no, he was just just being a dumbass here, and I wasn't driving, so I wasn't paying any attention to these curb thingies. I didn't care. I'm not driving. When we got out of the vehicle, I'm just looking at him and we're talking. And when we came back out to the car, he's got one of those things where if he has his key fob in his pocket, then his car falls in love with him, and he can unlock doors, open trunks, just push to start. The car just loves him and will do anything for him. So he just walks near the car and all the doors unlock, I think, and then I just jump in, shotgun on the passenger side, and I don't think I had the need to say anything. I did notice the curb thingies, or not curbs, whatever, blockade things, but I didn't feel the need to tell that to my new boss, and so he just hits the push to start, throws it into first, and lets out the clutch. And yes, that's what I said. He threw it into first gear, not reverse. No, I didn't make a mistake on that wording. He threw it into first. That's a forward gear. Yeah, and then he lets out the clutch and goes forward, and he went about 6 inches, or maybe a foot, maybe about a foot forward, and then ba-boom! Oh, see, even that shook the thing. I'm sorry. I won't do that again, because I'll have to do it again. The front 2 wheels go bumping up over this curve, and it didn't sound good for the car. No, I'm hoping he didn't dent his wheels, but not to see in the light of day, because it was dark when we left. We got there like 11 o'clock p.m. or something. We left pretty close to closing time, and then sure enough, the back wheels, ba-boom, again over that thing. And then he slams on the brakes, and he's like, fuck me, what just happened? Or he knew what just happened, but he's like, how did I do that? And I looked at him like, and I'm just I'm laughing my ass off. And I said, next time I'm driving. And he's still kind of pissed, but he's taking it pretty well. And so he's kidding with me when he says, "Fuck you. Do you even know how to drive stick?" And I looked at him and I said, "Have you seen the first 15 minutes of Six Underground on Netflix?" I said, "You should watch the movie. It's great. But the first 15 minutes of Six Underground, yes, that's me. So yeah, I can drive stick just fine. So yeah, I'm driving next time we go someplace because of that shit you just did right there. You're banned from driving me around anyway. You can drive yourself. I'll meet you there." So anyway, that's 5.5 minutes, and that's the extent of that story. But I just, we'll have to call that a William from now on. That's his name. So that's a William. Doing a William is when you ba-boom over one of those curb things. But in all fairness, when you're up close enough to the thing, you can't see it over the nose of your car. So you have to have remembered that it was there in the first place. But yeah, so if you do that, or anybody you know does that, you can just say that's a William. You did a William. And so to be fair and keep it balanced, and as I say, if I only have one redeeming quality, it's honesty. So I'll be honest about this. I screwed this up. This was several years earlier. Mitigating circumstances, as I make excuses for myself being a dumbass. It was very dark, pitch dark, and the part of the parking lot we were using was way out, away from any of the lights of the bar or anything else. It was after midnight, pitch dark, raining, so you're not even getting any moonlight or anything. Plus, it's raining. You don't want to be out there anyway and getting soaked. And we've all had a bit to drink by this time. I think we started at happy hour. Yeah, I think we got over there like at 4:30. So we've been drinking since 4:30, and now it's well after midnight. And I think I went out to get my car to either move it or maybe even to leave, and it wouldn't start. Battery was dead. Like crap, and that happens in my car all the time. It goes through batteries like crazy. So I come back in and grab one of my friends and say, will you come out and give me a jump? He's like, yeah, okay. And he's like, well, it's raining. I'm like, I know it's raining. You want us to just sit here until it quits raining? That might be 5 more hours. The bar will be closed. We'll be huddled up against the front of the place or, something. It's like, tough shit. It's raining. Come on. So we go out there in the rain, in the pitch dark, drunk, yeah, and going to jump the car. And I've got cables. I've always got cables because, like I said, my car goes through batteries like crazy. So I carry my own cables because I constantly have to stop random people, and say, could you please give me a jump? I said, I've got cables. I promise it'll take like 60 seconds out of your day, and I'll have this thing jumped, and I'll unhook your 2 cables, and you can be on your way. 60 seconds, tops. Because I've done this once or twice before, although sober, and daytime, and not rained on. And also, it was a car that was foreign to me. It was his car. Now, I admit I don't understand this, how he ended up holding 2 of the cables at the end underneath my hood, and I ended up under his hood. I mean, why weren't we doing our own cars? But we weren't. So I wasn't used to his car, and his battery was marked with the positive and negative just by this black plastic, and then it's just like a little raised thing that says plus, and at the other end the other one is a little raised line that says minus. So it's black on black. There's no paint. It's not white painted plus and minus. That's all there is to denote it. And again, it's pitch dark and raining, and we're drunk. And I didn't have a flashlight on me. I should have used my phone as a flashlight to verify, but I didn't. Did I mention the drunk part? No. I just fucked up. I did. But anyway, how'd this work? Oh, I had both the terminals hooked up first. Incorrectly, but first. It's kind of one of those things like when you're driving, you say, well, I'm lost, but I'm making good time. It's kind of like that. I hooked them up wrong, but I got mine done first. Both of them. And so he's doing the other 2. And if he'd have done them wrong, then 2 wrongs would have made it right, and it would have come out fine. But he did his job correctly, although slower than I. And so he hooked the 3rd terminal, or 3rd jaws onto the thing, and then when he went to touch the 4th one, boom, this big explosion of sparks, And he jerks the thing off of there, and he looks at me like, what the fuck did you do? Did you put the terminals on wrong? And I looked at it and I went, oh yeah, I totally did. Sorry about that. And I said, well, if it's any consolation, the last connection was made to my battery. So, I'm hoping if anything is screwed up even worse, it's my battery, because it's my fault, obviously. So anyway, being honest there, that I've done a dumb thing now and then with cars. Trying to think if that's the dumbest thing I can think of, because I don't like to make mistakes with cars, but I screwed that up. So was there something else like completely different that I was going to tell besides the 2 car stories? Oh, think fast, Keith. Yeah, I don't think I talked about the basement flood in the other, before this video got cut off. Did I? I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Yeah, the basement where I was trying to live or stay with my friend from college I did tell you this, because it was, sewer backed up. Yeah, so that wasn't it. So I don't know what else I was going to tell you about. It's happened in the last few days of interest. Yeah, sorry, I can't think of anything. And you're going, sorry, what do you mean? Thank God, here's one that's only 11 and a half minutes long. That's a change. So the iPad helped in that respect. But I just, like I said, threw this together because my lawyer canceled on her. No, he didn't cancel on me. No, I still haven't heard from him. He just didn't show. I'm sorry, I did touch that table. God, I just barely touched it that time. But yeah, he just didn't show. He didn't call up and say, hey, we're canceled. I got to bump the meeting, until day after tomorrow at 3 p.m. No, I sat here and waited and waited and waited, and then I FaceTimed him, and it didn't answer, and that's where we are now. That's been like 3 hours ago or something. I haven't heard a word from him. I've texted him, I've FaceTimed him, I've emailed him. I'm gonna have to show up at his door, probably. That'll be a conversation he'll remember, because I am just at the end of my rope with, because my sister's I probably talked about this before. My sister's handling this. I've got enough other things going on, and I'm taking care of my mom and keeping her supplied in groceries and not letting her out of the house during the zombie apocalypse and all that, and a million other things. You know how it is. We all have stuff, right? But so this legal thing, I gave that ball to my sister and said, you have this ball. And she's been taking the ball, and she's been doing fine with it. She's doing all the right stuff, and then on top of that, she's yelling at the lawyer all that he needs to be yelled at, which is plenty. But she's not me, So I think I'm going to have to borrow this ball back from her for a little bit and get involved with it more than I really want to. But I want this legal thing moving along, and she's not able to do it. But our methods are different. She's my sister, so we're a lot alike, and she'll get pissed as hell, and she's very good at arguing, and she'll yell at you for all kinds of things, but we're a little different. So anyway, thank you for this, and especially, I'm so stupid. I'm looking at the 13 and a half minutes. I forgot about the other piece that, I don't know, that thing felt like it was, if I had to guess, 7 minutes long. I'll find out here pretty soon. So I'm sorry, this is 20 minutes probably or longer, because I forgot about the other half, or the other piece. So thank you for doing the whole thing with me, and I'm sorry to have you jump over here and do it in part 1 and part 2, but really that'll save me either having to edit them together, or save me having to shoot the front half again. And thank God we didn't get any phone calls yet here, so let me get out of here before that happens. Yeah, okay, so I was worried that it was too crazy short, but I forgot until just now there were 2 pieces to it. So thanks. And I will speak to you soon again. Looking forward to talking with you again. And I won't wait for a lawyer to stand me up as an excuse to make a video. If I have a good topic, I will jump right back in here. It seems like it's been several days since I've done, several days, like 9 days or whatever would be my guess, since I've done a video. So I will try to keep up with some content of hopefully some value. And like I said, there's at least 3 or 4 people I know that the value here is that it's background for them while they're working on their other projects. So any port in a storm, if that's value to them, then that's value to me. I'm glad. So take care. I'm reaching for the button. So take care. Be safe, everybody, and I'll talk to you soon.